We now proceed to the break-even for business enterprise. In the previous video, we have discussed the definition of costs, the different costs, and the break-even of two alternatives. If you recall correctly, break-even of two alternatives is what we use to compare two choices. No? Ito yung ginagamit natin para ikumpara ang dalawang choices para makita natin kung kailan magiging mas worth it ang isang option over the other. At kung nahanap natin ang break-even point, ito yung point na kung saan hindi natin kinakailangan mamili between the alternatives kung hindi pantay lang ang kanilang annual cost. So, madalas annual cost ang way of solving natin doon sa break-even of two alternatives. Alright, so how about here in the break-even for business enterprise? In break-even for business enterprise, ito naman yung point kung saan yung total revenue natin or yung total na kinita would be equal to the total costs or yung total na ginastos natin. Ang ibig sabihin nito, wala ka pang profit pero hindi nangangahulugan na lugi ka na. Hindi ka din lugi. So, wala kang kinita, wala ka ding nalugi. Okay? Parang kumikita ka na ng sapat lang para mabayaran lahat ng gastos ng negosyo. Walang napupunta sa iyong kita. So, halimbawa, in business, may milk tea shop ka. Bago ka kumita ng totoong profit, bago ka kumbaga mag-earn, kailangan mo munang mabawi, hindi ba? Yung puhunan, at saka yung operational expenses mo. Kapag ang sales mo, eksaktong tumapat doon sa ginastos mo para sa milk tea shop mo, then break even ka na, di ba? So, anong purpose ng break-even for business enterprise? Ang kaibahan niya, doon sa break-even of two alternatives, ginagamit ito para gumawa ng smart financial decisions para alam natin kung anong option ang mas viable at mas economical. Okay? Para malaman kung alin sa dalawang options ang mas practical in the long run. Diba? Hindi ito tungkol sa kita, kung hindi sa pag-compare ng choices. Whereas, pag sinabi natin break-even for business enterprise, ang purpose nito ay para malaman kung ilang products or ilang units ang kailangan mabenta para hindi ka malugi, no? Kasi beyond the break-even point, malalaman mo or ma-analyze mo na kumikita ka na di ba? Kapag mas mababa naman do sa break-even point, alam mo na nalulugi ka, no? Na mas malait ang kinikita mo kaysa sa ginagastos mo. So this can then be a benchmark, no? Para ma-set natin yung pricing at yung sales targets, no? So, pwede naman tayong mag-set ng pricing na mas mataas kung konti lang talaga ang bumibili, no? Basta yung ating mga customers, kumbaga, may stable tayong customer base, no? This can be done in luxury products wherein hindi naman expect na lahat bibili. Pero kapag may bumili, mataas ang halaga, then parehas lang, no? Na kapag may bumibili pero mura ang benta, no? If you get me. So, pwede rin itong maging, sabi ko nga, basehan ng sales target. So, kung may quota tayo, alam natin kung anong dapat abutin natin para tayo ay kumita. Okay? So, to understand further, I think we need to discuss the examples. For number one, we have cost of producing a small transistor radio set consists of 23 pesos for labor and 37 pesos for materials. The fixed charges in the operation of the plant are 100,000 pesos per month. The variable cost, 1 peso per set, and the radio can be sold for 75 pesos each. So, kailangan natin malaman kung ilang sets ang dapat ma-produce kada buwan, para pumantay or para mag-break even tayo. So, as I mentioned, ang concern lang natin dito ay dalawa lang, yung cost at yung revenue. Okay? So, cost must be equal to the revenue for us to break even. Alright. So, under cost, meron pa rin tayo dyang fixed costs, no? Nakikita natin dyan yung 100,000. So, wala naman ng iba, no? At meron tayong variable cost, which is yung labor, materials, at yung mismong variable cost. Okay? So, yun ay 23 plus 37 plus 1. So, pinagsama-sama ko na, no? Ito yung fixed cost natin, ito yung variable cost natin. So, parehas yan na cost. Okay? Multiply ko yan by x para alam natin kung ilan ang dapat nating ma-produce. I-equate ko yan doon sa revenue natin or doon sa benta natin, which is 75. At kailangan din natin malaman kung ilan ang dapat ma-produce. Remember, kapag nahanap natin yung x dito, ito yung break-even point or kung saan pantay ang gastos dun sa kita natin. Okay? So, ilagay natin sa ating calculator. 100,000 plus, kung i-add natin yan, nasa 61 yan. Multiplied by x. Equate natin sa 75x. Press shift, calc 7142.86. So, x is equal to 7,142.86 or this is also equal to 7,143 sets, radio sets. So, ganun lang kadali, yung break-even for business enterprise. Very straightforward ang pag-solve dito. Kailangan alam lang nating i-determine kung alin ang cost at alin ang revenue. Okay? Alright. Let's now proceed to the second example. In the second example, okay, let me just transfer the second number real quick. Under number 2, we have a company has a production capacity of 500 per month, and its fixed costs are 250,000 a month. The variable costs are 1,150, and each unit can be sold for 2,000. Economy measures are instituted to reduce the fixed cost by 10% and the variable costs by 20%. Determine the old and the new break-even points. What are the old and new profit at 100% capacity? Okay. So, kung titignan natin yung number 2, marami siyang pinapahanap sa atin. Pero, alam natin na may dalawang scenario dito. Una, yung old operation at yung pangalawa, yung new operation, wherein yung new operation ay may reduction na tayo doon sa fixed cost at sa variable cost. I-solve muna natin yung old operations. Under the old operation, revenue equals cost pa rin. Or cost equals revenue. Kung titingnan natin, under fixed cost, meron tayong 250,000. Meron din tayo, 1,150. Okay? Actually, wala nang iba pa, Yan na yung pinaka-variable cost niya. So, lagyan natin yan ng X para malaman natin yung total cost. Equals natin yan sa revenue, total revenue, which is binibenta daw siya for 2,000 pesos. Multiply natin by X. So, yung 500 na yan, huwag natin gagamitin yan. Kasi, required muna tayong determine yung break-even point. So, malalaman natin, kung magamit natin yan or hindi. Okay. So, 250,000 plus 1,150 variable X equals 2,000 times X. Shift solve natin, we find that the break-even point is 294.12. Therefore, we can use this 500. Bakit? Kasi ang break-even point ay 294.12. So, alam natin na kung ang production capacity or kung ang kayang gawin ng mga makina natin ay 500, automatically, alam natin nakikita tayo. Dahil 294 pieces or 295 pieces ang kailangan para mag-break even. Therefore, kung mabenta natin yung buong 500, meron na tayong 205 units na purely kita natin. Pero syempre, kailangan pa rin bayaran yung variable cost ng bawat isa. So, don't get me wrong. I mean, kung 205 units, yung siguro 850, di ba? Yung difference ng 1,150 and 2,000 eh. So, 850 multiplied by 205, yun na yung kita natin. Now, ba't ko sinabi na kailangan muna natin break-even point? Kasi ganito yun. Kung nahanap natin yung break-even point, at mas mataas siya sa 500. Okay? Tapos yung kayang i-produce lang ng machine natin ay 500. Then, oh, huwag na tayo mag-business. Kasi kung, let's say, 550 ang nakuha natin as break-even point, at 500 lang ang kaya nating ma-produce, no? Eh, parang nagpapagod ka lang, di ba? Kahit anong gawin mo, dahil yung capacity ng machine mo ay 500 lang, never mo maaabot yung sales target. So, anong kailangan mong gawin, no? It's either, pwede mo itaas yung presyo ng pagbenta mo sa kanya, pwede mo babaan yung fixed charges kung pwede, pwede mo rin babaan yung variable cost, no? Or mag-stop ka na lang mag-business, no? Yun lang yun eh, di ba? So, under the new operation, sabi niya, so remember, no? Ang kita natin dito, okay? Ang kita natin, kung gusto natin malaman yung kita natin, 250,000, di ba? Sorry. Yung revenue muna, 2,000, okay, multiplied by 500 minus 250,000 plus 150 times 500. Okay? So, ito yung kikitain natin. Okay. So, 175,000. 175,000 pesos. Okay? Yan ang kita natin under the old operations. No? So, if titingnan natin, no? Okay. So, on 294.12 ito, meron tayong 205.88. Yun, di ba? Yun yung number of units, no? Multiply natin yan by 850. Tingnan natin kung parehas. Okay. Ayun, nasa ganun. So, tama. 175,000, no? Same lang. So, yun yung kita natin under the old operation. So, na-expect natin, nakikitain natin sa new. Kung yung gumawa tayo ng economic measures, no? Nireduce natin yung fixed cost at yung variable cost. So, expect natin, syempre, dahil binawasan natin yung cost natin, mas lalong lalaki yung revenue natin, no? So, kung na-reduce yung fixed cost natin by 10%, that means 250,000. Oh, multiplied natin yan ng 90%. Multiplied by 90% plus yung variable mo na-reduce ng 20%. So, multiply mo yan ng 80%. Okay? Multiplied by X equals same selling price. Ano? So, pasok natin yan. 250,000 times 0.9 plus 150 times 0.8 alpha X. Oops. Mali. Okay, so under the new operation, ang break-even point na natin ay 208. Therefore, kung nakakapag-produce tayo no, ng 500, no, pure kita na yung 292 less the variable cost to produce 292. No? Or kung gusto natin, ganun lang din, 250, sorry, 2,000 no, times 500 minus 250,000 times 0.9 plus 150, 0.8, 500. Okay, yan. Ayan. Okay. So, kita na natin ay 315,000 na siya. So imagine, no, a 10% reduction in fixed cost and 20% reduction in variable cost will yield, no, about double of the profit, no, kung dun sa old operation tayo. Okay? So, yun lang yung old and new break-even points. No? Ito si 294, old yan, break-even point. New break-even point, 208. Old profit, 175,000. New profit, 315,000. Again, remember, no, this is if assuming we are operating at 100% capacity. All right? Okay. So, let's now go to the third one. Okay? For the third one, we have here a local factory assembling calculators, produces 400 units per month and sells them at 1,800 pesos each. Dividends are 8% on the 8,000 shares with par value. Or pag sinabing par value, within face value yan, no? Of 250 pesos each. The fixed operating cost per month is 25,000. Other costs are 1,000 per unit. Determine the break-even point. If only 200 units were produced per month, determine the the profit or the loss. Okay. So, to determine the break-even point, no, pag sinabing break-even point, okay, tandaan natin, hindi dapat kasama yung mga investors sa break-even point. Tandaan na ang break-even point ay pantay lang yung operational cost dun sa revenue natin. Pag sinabing operational cost, yung talagang pagpapatakbo lang ng production, no, or ng operation ng planta. So, kung isolve natin yung break-even point, no, nasan ba yung fixed cost muna? Yung fixed cost natin ay 25,000. Add tayo ng yung other cost kanya, 1,000. Ano pa bang iba? Ayan, 1,000x. Yan ang cost, diba? Equals natin yan sa revenue. 1,800x. Okay. So, tinatanong sa atin yan, di ba? What's the break-even point? O, tandaan, no? Hindi ko sinama yung shares dahil di sila kasama sa break-even point. Okay? Ayan. So, x is equal to 31.25 calculators. No, units. Anyway, round up na lang lagi, no? Dito sa 294.12 and 208.33. No? So, 31.25 units or 32 units. No? So, again, ang ginamit ko lang is, no? Hindi ko ginamit yung 400 units per month. Yung 1.8 ang ginamit ko. 25,000 and 1,000. Okay. So, titingnan natin kung maggamit yung 400, no? At yung 200. Okay? So, na-determine na natin yung break-even point, which is 31.25 units or 32 units, no? Kung may choices. Doon naman tayo sa, if only 200 units were produced per month, determine the profit or loss. Okay. So, kung per month, ang determination natin, no? At kung titingnan natin, diba? Sabi niya, dividends are 8% on the 8,000 shares with a face value of 250 pesos each. Ibig sabihin nito, no, may 8,000 shares yung kumpanya natin na nagkakahalaga ang bawat isa ng 250 pesos. Okay? So, that puts the company valuation at roughly 2 million pesos. No? So, yung shares na to, since mga investors ang bumili dyan sa shares na yan, they're entitled to a profit, no? To the profit of the company, to a portion of the profit of the company. And how much is that portion? Yun yung 8%. No? Okay? Pag sinabing dividends, yan yung kinikita ng shares nila. Yan yung kapalit ng pagbili nila ng shares. Yan yung guarantee. No? Ang guarantee, pag sinuportan mo yung kumpanya ko, bumili ka ng shares, may 8% ka after a year. no? Again, walang na-mention dyan na time period, pero pag walang nakalagay, annual yan, no? So, how do we solve the profit or loss, no, kapag ganito? Well, kapag profit or loss naman ang kailangan nating makuha, kailangan nating isama yung mga investors natin, no? So, how do we solve for that? Ganun pa rin. We have 25,000 plus 1,000x, no? 25,000 plus 1,000x, okay? Yung x natin would now be 200. Now, under cost, kasama din ngayon yung mga investors natin, yung pagbabayad sa kanila, which is, no, kung 8% yan, 8% multiplied by 8,000, okay, multiplied by 250 pesos kada isa. At kung annual yan, gawin natin 1 month lang, no, divide natin by 12, no, para maging monthly na gastos natin sa mga investors. Okay? So, yan ay, no, yung revenue natin is equal to, no, the net revenue to, no, net. Okay? The net revenue is equal to revenue minus cost. No? Kumbaga, una nating na-build yung cost. No? Itong buong term na yan, yun yung cost natin. Okay? Alright. So, how about yung gross revenue natin? Pag sinabing gross revenue, no, yun yung, nung binenta natin yung calcul, diba? Meron tayong 1.8 multiplied by 200. Yan yun, no? So, this is your gross revenue. No? This is your total cost. Again, when determining, no, the profit or loss, you must take into consideration your investors, the shares that the company has. So you have 1.8 multiplied by 200 minus 25,000, okay, plus 1,000 times 200 plus we have 8% or 0.08, okay, multiplied by 8,000 multiplied by 250 divided by 12. So this would be the total cost, equals. Ayan. So we still have, no, a net revenue of how much? A net revenue of 121,666.67 pesos. So we're still earning, no? Kasi kung zero ito, yun yung tinatawag natin mamaya, no, na unhealthy point. Bakit unhealthy? No? Bakit unhealthy point? Because, no, if you are not to reach that point, okay, that means na unhealthy yung magiging business mo because you are not compensating enough for your investors, no? So pag naabot mo na yung unhealthy point mo, okay, that means, no, na free ka na of all obligations. Nabayaran mo na yung gastos mo, no, nabayaran mo na yung fixed cost mo, na na bayaran mo lahat ng investors mo, and from that point onward, lahat ng kita na ngayon ng kumpanya, no, ay sa'yo na as the business owner. So that's what unhealthy point means, no? Actually, nakalagay dyan sa module natin. The unhealthy point refers to the sales volume at which the business will be able to pay the exact or exactly the desired rate of dividend. Okay? So, as I explained, no, kung titingnan natin, diba, yung unhealthy point, di naman talaga siya unhealthy. So, sa madaling sabi, no, yung break-even point, kung i-differentiate natin siya with the unhealthy point, pag sinabing break-even point, no, or yung traditional or operating break-even, ito yung point na kung saan, no, sa business, kung saan ang total revenue ay equal sa operating cost. Diba? Yung operating cost yan ay made up of the fixed cost and the variable cost. So, lagi natin tatandaan na kapag kinukuha yung break-even point, hindi pa kasama dito yung dividends, no? Yung return to investors, yung interest para sa shareholders capital, no? And some other things, no? Meaning, nabawi mo lang yung ginastos mo sa operations, pero hindi mo pa nababayaran ang investors. Habang yung unhealthy point naman, no? Yung unhealthy point kasi investors are already involved. Ito naman ay yung level of sales kung saan nabayaran mo na ang operating cost, okay? Pero hindi mo pa rin or kailangan mo pa rin malampasan ito, yung unhealthy point, okay? Para masabi na kumita ka dahil pag hindi mo nalampasan yung unhealthy point, hindi mo pa naibibigay yung dapat na earnings ng investors. So kung kanina, yung 8%, no, yun yung earnings nila dapat per year. So kahit break even ka na sa operations, unhealthy pa rin siya financially, no? Dahil hindi satisfied yung mga investors mo, syempre hindi sila mababayaran. Hindi pa natutupad yung promised return on investment nila. And no, hindi siya sustainable kasi kung binibigo mo yung mga capital providers mo, malamang magpo-pull out yan, no, ng mga investments nila. So, until you reach the unhealthy point, no, yan ay hindi mo pa kita, no. Now, beyond the unhealthy point, yun na yung healthy, di ba? Bakit siya healthy? Kasi kumikita ka na, nagkakapera ka na. Okay? So, to sum it up, no, yung break-even point, okay tayo sa operations, pero wala pa tayong nabibigay sa investors kung may mga investors na involved. Sa unhealthy point naman, may kita na tayo for expenses, okay? Pero bagsak pa rin tayo overall kasi hindi pa bayad yung mga expected returns or yung dividends na tinatawag ng mga investors. So, need pa rin natin malampasan yung unhealthy point. Okay? Alright. That's the key to determine kasi yung solution sa next nating problem. So, for our next problem, sabi, a company manufacturing calculators has a capacity of 200 units in a month. The variable costs are 1,000 pesos per unit. The average selling price of the calculator is 2,500 and fixed costs of the company amount to 150,000 per month, which include all taxes. The company pays an annual dividend of 12 pesos per share on each of the 30,000 shares of common stocks. Determine the number of calculators that must be sold each month to break even and the sales volume corresponding to the unhealthy point. What is the profit or loss if 150 units were produced and sold in a month? Okay. So, very similar dun sa 3, no? Nga lang, tinatanong kagad sa atin dito yung break-even at yung unhealthy point. So, malamang, based on our discussion, mas mababa yung break-even kaysa sa unhealthy point, no? So, determine muna natin yung break-even point. Okay? So, kung titingnan natin, meron tayong cost na 1,000 per unit at 150,000 yung fixed naman. No? Okay? So, yan lang, 1,000 times X equals 2,500 times X. Ayan lang, kasi break-even point lang eh, no? 2,500 X. Okay, so 100 calculators. So, may sense na 200 yung napoproduce kada buwan, no? Kasi, um, kayang-kayang maabot, no? Kayang-kayang kumita kung 200 yung ipoproduce. So, expect natin a little bit higher than 100 yung ating unhealthy point, no? So, no decimal. So, yun na yun, no? Yung unhealthy point natin is 150,000. Same lang as 1,000x with the addition only of the dividends of the investors. So, may annual dividend daw na 12 pesos per share on 30,000 shares. So, since annual yan at monthly lang hinahanap natin, no? Divide lang natin by 12 equals 2,500x. Okay, fortunately, di ko pa nabubura. So, dagdag na lang natin dito. 12 divided by 12, di ba? 30,000 lang. So, shift solve. Ayan. X is equal to 120. No? So, this now will be the unhealthy point na tinatawag. At this one is the break-even point. Okay? So, tama yung observation natin na slightly higher yung unhealthy point sa break-even point. Okay? But that's just how we solve it. No? Wag muna tayong magpalito sa shares kasi sa module or sa next discussion pa lang natin yan. Okay? Alright. So, we have answered letter A. Let's now answer letter B. So, alam natin, di ba, kung 150 units na-produce, kikita na tayo kasi 120, unhealthy eh. Nalampasan natin yung unhealthy point. Therefore, kikita tayo dyan sa 150 units. Imposibleng magka-losses tayo. No? So, paano natin malaman? Net tayo. Net revenue. Okay? So, net revenue natin ngayon is 2.5 times 150 minus 150,000 plus 1,000 times 150 plus 12 times 30,000 divided by 12. Okay. So, yan na. Okay. 150,000 plus 1,000, 150 plus 30,000. Oops, syntax. Sobrahan. Ayan. So, may kita tayong 45,000 pesos. Ayan. So, positive, no, profit in a month. 45,000 pesos. Okay? So, ganun lang mag-solve, no, ng break-even of business enterprise, for business enterprise. Mas madali siyang isolve actually compared dun sa break-even of two alternatives. You just have to consider yung break-even point, yung unhealthy point, and yung practical understanding ng iba't ibang, yung dalawang yan. I mean. Alright, so that's it for the break-even of business enterprise. Okay, the next topic would now be benefit cost ratio. So stay tuned for that video and hope you're safe. Goodbye.